And boom. Boom. Boom.
Check
Yo.
1, 2.
Boom. All right.
Try this.
Can everybody
Can you
hear
my
me?
audio good like this?
Can everybody hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Got you, man. Got you.
Cool. All right. All right. Sweet. Let's just get rid of that. Guys, how we doing today?
Good, buddy.
I think we're live. So let's see. We got Snarky Guy. We've got Austin in China. We've got Alex Absolute. And I feel like I'm playing that one game show. Everyone was like, the Hollywood Squares, where someone's climbing out of one square into the other one, We got Simon.
What's up?
So looks like Austin may be frozen there. Oh, he's moving. He's moving. He's alive. He's alive. So, all right. And he's gone. That was quick. Any minute, I'm expecting a radio, Johnny, just to pop out of nowhere, and it's a Johnny show again. Just out of nowhere. It's like, boom, yeah. Johnny. So.
Right.
All right. Guys, today we are in the Snark Lounge, and we are going to be talking about teaching English in China. Bunny was supposed to be here tonight, but at the last minute, she decided she was going to hang out with some Cantonese friends and leave this quite a sausage fest.
Damn.
Yes. So it happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can get other people in, right? I can ask my wife. That's not happening.
It happens. So I don't know what happened with Austin. Presumably, he's going to be back. So
it's not really a live stream unless somebody is having some kind of issue, usually with the internet, like me last week.
Right.
This is one of those things when I just sent the message to Alex and not
yeah. I just looked at I'm sitting here. I'm like, hey, I'm already here, aren't I?
You're already here. Yeah, I hit A, search on the WeChat, and then it just happens. All right. So, oh yes, Burbex. Hey, Burbex. He's asking where's Skittles. Skittles. I don't know if you can see him. He is right up here, sleeping. He's right up there.
No. Yeah, just about.
He's hanging out, just doing the cat thing. And so the cat life, it's got to be, the most wonderful thing in the world. So, guys, there's Simon's got the kitty. So, is that your kitty?
Yeah, Loki wants to play. Unfortunately, I want to stream, so we're going to be at odds over the next few hours.
Yeah, he's probably. I mean, he's biting. He's hungry.
So, he's well fed, that's for sure.
Halfway through the episode, we're going to come back and find that, unfortunately, he is quite dead. So, hey, Miss Jane Double Latte is in the audience. She is one of my absolute best students. So, and I'm not sure why I just had a beep in the background. That was weird. That was extremely weird. All right. So today we are talking about teaching English in China. For those of you who don't know, teaching English in China is not for the weak of heart. Not only do you take the risk of getting stabbed, bitten, slobbered on, and possibly asked to have your belly rubbed like a lucky Buddha occasionally, you do need quite a bit of qualifications in this country. At the last count, you need a bachelor's degree, 2 years experience, a notarized degree, and authenticated degree from your university, the U.S. Secretary of State if you're an American citizen, and the Chinese Embassy, a recommendation letter from your third grade teacher, 2 vital organs, their choice, and a notarized and authenticated no criminal report from both your states and U.S. Department of Justice, a medical check, a recommendation letter to come into China, a residence permit, and a flea dip.
And all of that, essentially, for some of us that just want to say, hey, teacher, let me try.
Right.
Yes. So, all right. Well, so I'm not sure where Mr. Austin has went. He may have realized Bunny was not here and decided to
He decided to go.
skedaddle.
Nope.
So he just sent me a message saying his internet is bombed. All right. Well, Austin, if you can come back, that would be awesome. And if not, we will continue on without you. So, there we go. Youperman says, I'm here, Snarky. Welcome, sir. Welcome. So, guys, here we go. We already have comments. ESL teaching is the hardest job, and that's a fact. Guys, I want to get some opening ideas from you. What is teaching English like? Now, I know me personally, I teach the middle guys, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Simon, what do you teach?
Not English, actually. I teach PE, science, senior biology, outdoor education, and since coming in China for a short period of time, I was also teaching English.
Oh, wow. Okay. So teaching PE, what's that like?
So I'm currently teaching grade 1 PE.
Yeah.
In language they don't understand. So it's very tedious.
Tedious. Okay. So do a lot of your students speak English?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can speak any language. They can, if they spoke to me in Spanish and I understood it, it's okay. We're teaching PE, not language.
Okay. So I imagine it ends up being just a little bit of both, though, when they're teaching English or teaching PE, because you have to be able to communicate concepts, how to do push-ups, how to do pull-ups, how to run away so I can read this magazine.
You're right. So there's a lot of language that is exchanged. And so they will pick up on a lot of functional language in the PE classroom in English, just as I actually will learn a lot of Chinese from them. And we, go back and forth between the languages as needed. Because sometimes, it's a Friday afternoon and they just don't understand. Sit down.
Yep, I know that. We have a comment for right away here for Simon. They said Simon Barnes looks like a serial killer.
You should see my passport. I've got no hair, and it's looks like I'm currently in jail for serial killing, is what I've been told.
Well, although you could be in one of those really nice Danish prisons, that have the Wi-Fi and the workout center. That'd be kind of cool. But all right, so let's go right to Alex. Alex, what do you teach in China?
I teach English. I've taught English at several different levels. When I first came here for the first 3 years, I taught at a primary school. I taught grades 3 and 4, which was fantastic. Teaching a high level school for here. It's like a really famous one where government officials and rich kids went. So it's really cool. They had they had science lessons where they flew drones. The science teacher flew Mavics, and he made these huge, great big ones that were proper cinema things, and they flew those, and that was fantastic. But the salary kind of sucked because it was a public school job essentially. Then I moved on to a kindergarten. The kindergarten was, it was all right. You did basically almost no work. I think you worked for a little bit in the morning because they have this 3-hour gap in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you kind of did some in the afternoon. That was great. The salary kind of went up a bit again because it was a private establishment. The boss lied to me and stole my money. So I passed on from that one. And then now I'm at a training school, which is really high money, but it takes your life, essentially. It's full high energy. You have to be hey, everybody. So yeah.
I know that.
Kills you. Yeah.
And the man of the hour is back, Austin. He's back. So.
Nope. Not that back.
Playing Pac-Man.
He's playing 8-bit sound effects.
Just need some retro 80s music. That would be good.
So he's just kind of,
yeah,
sitting
just kind of doing his thing.
Like a little puppet. No, I don't know what's up with this internet. All right. Well, Austin, if you can hear us, we're looking at you. Yes. Jamaica Funk says he is Still frozen.
Oh, Jamaica Funk's the guy who does all the cool caricatures, right? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Oh, so someone says
so
he
cool.
looks like John Malkovich. Nice. So Burbix is going on with Alex drives an Audi
And a BMW.
and a BMW. Apparently, apparently we're all working for the wrong school. Apparently. So
to be fair, we bought the BMW and the BMW 5 Series, and then the Audi S3 was a gift.
nice. That's the best gift.
Holy shit! I need friends like you. I need friends like you.
crap,
Jesus
he's back.
Christ! I make 11,000 a month. I make like no money. Jesus.
All right, Austin. So
God.
I'm glad you have crawled out of whatever quagmire internet you were in.
Yeah.
So we were discussing what we all do. What do you teach? Oh, he's got that Hannibal Lecter look right now.
In ones and zeros.
Yes, he's got that Hannibal look. That look like he says he just drank a nice Chianti with some fava beans.
I'm glad Simon got the comments tonight. Usually on the Saturday show, I've had a few comments of people saying that they have to keep checking that I'm not dead because I don't move enough. So now I always
it's okay because apparently they're asking, can serial teachers work as teachers in China?
That would be a no.
Not serial teachers.
That would be no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You definitely could. There'd be an endless supply of victims.
So Austin is playing a game of statue, and he's winning. He's winning. We are way behind on this game right now.
Alex, I think unfortunately my mother's in the audience.
Possibly. So
he's gone again.
That reminds me of I'm not going to go really political. I'm going to say this one bit and drop it. There was some graffiti in Hong Kong I read the other day. It said, "Darn the police," and I'm like,
yeah,
my mother's been out protesting.
Yeah,
that's a real British person there. That's the British influence in Hong Kong. That is.
Yep.
Darn the police.
Okay.
Sip of tea.
I don't know what's happened to Austin. He has disappeared again. So if you can come back, Austin, cool. And if your internet is not allowing you to, well, we'll have to just go on without you. So yeah, there are some countries that are allowed to teach English and some that are not allowed to teach English. Does anybody know what they are?
Non-native speaking countries, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I kind of understand because there was like there was a large influx of teachers that you'd be like, yes, miss, my name is blah blah blah, and the accent was pretty. There used to be back in the days when anybody could come here. There was a large amount of people that shouldn't have been teaching English. On the other side of that, there is a lot of people who are non-native speakers. In fact, I have colleagues still that are non-native speakers. They can't leave the job because they've got a work permit before it was not allowed, before they changed the rules. So they can stay in the job, but they can't leave and go to a different one. But a lot of them, like I used to have a colleague, she was from Belarus, and I had to ask her, where in America do you come from? Because she actually had a very American-sounding accent. So there is a lot of people that are non-native speakers, which are brilliant English teachers, and a lot of them are way more passionate than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got those guys.
I know that Simon qualified as Simon's passion is teaching, but not mine. I like making films.
There you go. So, it says your mom's gonna watch your mouth. Okay, thanks. I guess. So
his mouth, not my mouth, Mom.
Yes. Hi, Mom.
Are you
so yeah, as far as I know, at the latest count, they're saying the UK, USA, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa are the 5 countries of native speakers that are allowed to teach English in China. What do we think? Agree or disagree with that proposition?
Yeah, pretty much. But South Africa actually got taken off the list for a while, didn't it? And then put back on because it caused a lot of problems for a lot of my South African colleagues.
My original job in China was meant to be in Shenzhen, and they shipped me up to China because Shenzhen got strict on South Africans. Shanghai, sorry, because Shenzhen regulations got strict on South Africans, and actually added to the list as Philippines, and they weren't allowed. And I think and they're in the process now of being given permissions again to return to teaching English because it's actually a official language of the Philippines. So
yes,
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that. So, oh, someone said Canada.
Canada. Did we not say Canada? Definitely Canada.
Does anybody
Is that
like
not a
Canada here?
province of America?
Canada. So actually, I think Canada is
Joke,
probably.
that's a joke for
I'm
anybody
sure
watching.
Canada's on the list. So
Yeah.
I do know that if you do offend a Canadian, it is law. They have to forgive you immediately and say sorry. So and smile slightly larger than a Saskatchewan beaver.
So funny thing about that, all of my students who have Canadian tutors are some of the most polite English kids I have. They're always please and thank you and may I do this all day. I absolutely love my Canadian tutors for making life in my classroom a bit more pleasant.
Nice.
Yep. So we had a question here. Someone's Leon is saying, where are each of you guys located, or where are you based? Simon, where are you based out of?
Shanghai.
Shanghai. I'm in Shanghai. Alex, where are you at?
I'm in Wenzhou, which is 500 kilometers just below you guys. 3.5 hours on a train.
There you go. There you go.
Pretty
Angelo
close.
saying live stream is still going.
By China terms, we're practically neighbors. It's
So, what about the Canadians who speak French? No, we make them go to Vietnam. We make them go to Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
One of you guys got that.
I do.
Okay, Austin may be back again. Let's see.
Come on, buddy.
Here we go. Are we back?
How's it sound?
Hey!
Yeah!
All right. Yeah, I had to get on my data. I have to use my phone and data because my Wi-Fi is just screwed. At the moment.
use my phone actually for live streaming our Saturday shows a lot of the time, and it works just fine on the China Mobile 4G.
That's what I'm on
in the office. Like,
yeah, this is my first time doing it. Yeah,
Bunny's not here. You guys, shh.
I won't tell no tales.
Not a word.
I won't tell.
And you thousands of people in internet land, not a word. Not a word. So, Austin, what sort of teaching do you do here in China?
So I've done mostly university teaching, but I have done my part at a training school. But right now I teach at Sichuan University. And I teach spoken English, just oral English.
Nice. Okay. So
it's a beautiful looking campus.
Oh man, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you go to that campus and then you realize like, oh, this is a school with money. Like this school's got some serious cash flow. Because like it's
I
remember when I left Chengdu.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Are they paying you this oodles of cash?
No. The thing is, like with universities offer the lowest paying jobs in China in terms of English teaching. Like probably I make half of what you guys do probably. That's just the truth.
Which is weird because Uber is saying that you drive a Rolls.
I don't think so. I drive a bicycle that was a gift from a friend, and I also drive a 1500 Kuai e-bike. Like that's
nice.
That's it. It's like the lowest level e-bike that they get.
So Burbex wants to know what Alex is drinking tonight.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh, he's got the Baiju. Nobody's safe.
It's Arguato, isn't it? That's some vile stuff. Ugh.
That's the stuff that may make you go blind, or you start making you think you're George Carlin or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess I like the more high end stuff, but like the stuff you buy at like Wowo or Hongqi or one of those like convenience stores.
Yeah.
Ugh, like
I
bottle.
I like a range of baijos from like my favorites are like Maotai and Wuliang, but
yeah, mine too.
You wouldn't drink those kind of ones every day because they're like 2,000 plus RMB a bottle.
It tastes all like petrol to me.
Yeah, my other favorites are just like farmer-made baijiu. Somewhere out here,
Oh,
I have
yeah,
this,
yeah.
it's like a giant urn, like one of those huge things that holds about 10 gallons. It's like
Nice.
Yeah.
sealed with clay.
Right.
One of Lily's, my wife's family decided
Like
they
one
were
of
Alex
these.
likes baijiu. Let's give him this one that they'd made at their farm
Ooh.
or something. And it's like this huge thing. Look, I don't even know how to get into it. It looks like I'm gonna have to get like some kind of
Oh shit.
like
I
like
just
a
realized I
science
can't hear
team to
anything.
come and excavate it like they would a tomb, because it's like it looks like it's hermetically sealed with some sort of clay.
It's live,
This
dude.
is live. My
Live.
friend, live.
It's absolutely live.
We're live. Yes.
I like you.
We're
name dropped it
live.
as well.
Some of us might actually be wearing pants today too. We don't know.
Wearing
not
pants.
telling.
I'm wearing pants.
No promises.
No promise.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
I
no
like where this
promises.
is going. All right.
Actually, my
So-
shirt is not very
Yes.
ironed, is it?
Somebody's asking, is it a little bit too early to be drinking baijiu? Baijiu?
Not really.
It's dark
I mean,
outside, man. It's fine.
So
Yeah. It's
here
past
we
9
have
o'clock in
our
the morning,
first
so it's
suggestion. Alex should give the Audi to Austin.
okay. Okay, sure.
So you
Hey,
heard it.
let's go to Winjo, Luching Fun.
Yes.
Go.
It's a long drive. It's a long drive from here to Chengdu. That would be a cool video.
I
though.
could care
That would be-
less.
that would be-
That's fine.
I was exploring an old
Yeah.
alleyway and found snake baijiu. Yee. No thanks, man. Keep
I
that.
have
for
a
yourself.
video in which I try that. Yeah,
Hey.
way back in the day when I was in high.
I can send you guys a video from you wouldn't be able to see it if I hold it up on my phone, maybe. Let me see if I can get it up a second. This is from a local park just the other day, right? And yeah, you just see the insanity that this is. I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
Okay.
This is
We're getting there.
We have some steps. We have
Those
some.
are-
Oh no! Don't show us those photos. No.
those are cobras, Chinese cobras,
Oh,
like this long, about yay fat, great big puffed out neck things in a local park. Fantastic, right? And they apparently
no
they sit
thanks.
up to 2 meters.
They actually make
no
soup out of
thanks.
those.
I've seen those in
Yeah.
bottles too. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather those two were in the bottles, not on the path.
yeah. Oh, dude, I remember hearing this story like a couple of years ago. Sorry, I got really excited for a second.
Yeah.
This guy,
I
I
got
remember
excited
this
for you.
guy. It was like in Henan or something. Like Henan's like the Florida man of China, right? All the weird stuff comes out of Henan. And this guy had gotten a hold of a cobra, as you do, and
As
he
you
decided
do.
I want to make like some
Average
snake
Saturday.
baijiu, and he somehow put the live cobra into a bottle, put the baijiu in, corked it, and then like left it for a couple of weeks or something. Left it for a little while. The snake went into like hibernation or something, and he opened up the bottle to like drink it, and the cobra
Got him.
got out of the bottle and bit him on the neck, and it killed him.
What?
What?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, if you put
I
me
saw
in
it
a
in
bottle, I'd bite
multiple
you on the
news
neck and kill
sources,
you
yeah.
too.
I thought this was going to be that
Yeah.
Foshan story about the cook that had, cut off the snake head and set it aside. You hear about
Yeah.
this
Oh,
one?
yeah.
I was,
And
I
they're
was
like,
gonna say
you would
maybe
go away
Alex's
later, the
next video,
snakehead
but maybe
video.
not.
Good.
So what happened
Yeah.
with the snake head on the side?
So, Snarky, did you color your beer? I'm sorry, you used a U,
100% he
sir.
did.
You used a U in color. Therefore, I don't understand your question at all. So,
Quelo, good man, good man, Kirk. I respect you for that. That I understand you. I think I'm the only one in the room that understands you from putting.
No, I got it. I got you, buddy.
never mess with
Kemba gone,
cobras and
Kemba
snakes.
gone.
True story.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one of those things.
not
Don't mess with
intentional.
snakes. People who have the first name is the same as the city, or ladies who have a tattoo of a dagger on their body. Don't go near them. End of story there.
True story.
So let's try
True
to
story.
wrestle this back on topic here. It
Right,
seems
topics.
like there is several different calibers. Seems like we have all different levels here of experience with training or teaching in English, of course, or just teaching. There seems in China you have the option of working in a training center, a kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, or university. Now, if you can choose any of those,
another tier.
Oh, there's more.
Well, there's
Yeah,
like
you can
the
privately teach at
university,
businesses and
which is a
stuff.
Chinese university, but then you get like here in Wenzhou we have Kane University, which is a big New York or New Jersey university.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have a campus, and like that's like real serious teaching. They have like professors of people that have like PhDs, and like it's like they're on like huge money salaries. They're like over here with like it's a lot more serious. You hardly ever see them out, or when you do, they're all together like a gaggle of real university PhDs.
You can further You can further subdivide that into local, private, international, and tutoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can also get hired by like big business companies to teach their
no way.
Their like CEOs, their managers, and like higher ups how to speak English,
like
for
doctors, like Winston,
business
right?
meetings and stuff like
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
doctors.
in Chengdu we have a lot of like we have a lot of car manufacturing. So like BMW, Audi, Mercedes, like all these different we have like a big headquarters for all those companies, and they hire foreigners to teach the higher ups how to speak. Like one of my friends actually does that.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've had a couple of so one of my friends here, she got hired by a really rich lady, and she just wanted she just paid her basically to live at her house,
right,
and teach her English and hang out with her, and just like it wasn't really a job. It was kind of like being someone's English-speaking friend. You know, when you have like that guy at a bar who wants to show off that he has a foreign friend, except that they're paying you to be that foreign friend. And she lived 100%. With her, like solidly, like. But it got a bit creepy, and she was like, I can't have a life other than when you tell me I can. So
uber rich people will also hire foreign. They're called like au pairs, I think officially.
Yes, au pair.
They're like nannies.
Yeah.
They will. Yeah, because one of my friends did that in Beijing. Like uber rich families will just have some like
that's
foreigner just
usually
live at their house and teach.
Usually girls though.
Yes.
So
she happened to be a lady. Yes.
So, so I got a couple of questions there. Did they devenom the snakes before putting it in the baijiu?
They should.
Apparently,
what would the fun in that be?
No. So
no pain, no gain.
Of course, drunk snakes can kill just as well as sober ones. That's probably true.
They're probably more vicious. You imagine like drunk people at a bar.
True story. On topic, actually, how realistic is it to go straight to teaching in a university rather than teaching in training centers first? What do we think, guys?
I went straight to university.
Possible. Yeah.
I went straight to university at like 22, 23. Yeah. I did it.
I think the minimum age for teaching in China is 22 anyway, right? Is it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think so.
Pretty much as soon as I can get in, I got in. Yeah. But universities also have different. You what?
I don't think I'd want to teach in a university though.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I think
I don't want to teach in a kindergarten or a training school.
I think
I've done the kindergarten
thing. Minuses.
I've done the kindergarten thing. Of course, the kindergarten guys, I mean, sometimes you'll be spanked, poked, spit, have your hair pulled, kicked, called names, had your belly hit. Maybe that's happened to me a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure one kid even tried to cast a spell on me once. That may explain the tale I found the other day.
Was this in your video? I remember there was a video you did riding on an e-bike once, and that was about the kid that wanted to kick you in the nuts. That was
dude. I think that was some of these little kids, especially in the kindergartens, or even worse in training centers, because that tends to be like the lowest caliber of kids. I mean, they just have no thing. They just want to run up and smack a foreign right on the pigu because they think that's hilarious.
I get it on a daily basis.
Yeah. Have you guys ever had any experiences like that?
Yeah, all the time. Like kids literally always run up to you, always like run up like boys, and they're like, oh, and you're like, hope there's no cameras.
Now, I don't know if Austin will have people smacking him on the butt at university, and if he does, that's probably an entirely different issue.
Yeah, no, these kids are 18, 19. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Unless your wife, comes in to give you lunch and gives you a little. No. Go get a bag.
Yeah. That's possible. That's possible.
Yep. So
Yeah.
why are only girls preferred by uber rich Chinese? That's a good question.
I mean,
I think a lot of people would find it weird. I think a lot of people would find it weird to have a strange man living in their house with their family. I would definitely feel better if there was a lady at my house than a guy at my house, like around my kids and all that. Yeah,
it's that kind of classic sense of safety, right? I guess it feels more safe.
Someone's asking how old is Austin? Guilo answers you're 12.
On the inside. On the inside.
On the inside.
Yeah. I'm 31.
On the inside. Yes. 31. So yeah, I mean, I've had kind of experience. I've done the training center as a part-time gig before, and it seems to me this is kind of like the anything flies curriculum. Of course, your contract can be, shall we say, less than ironclad. Of course,
there's a lot of laws which I found out recently because of the whole COVID-19. There's been all these kind of law groups, and I'm in a group with a lawyer from Beijing. He's like a foreigner. He's a lawyer here. Great. If anybody ever gets in trouble, hit me up, and I can totally get you in the group. This guy is amazing. He does pro bono work.
I'll get that contact, please.
And he offers a service where he will go through contracts and point out all the bits which are illegal and which are not. And you'd be surprised. Like, some friends of mine went like splitsies on doing it just because they had the exact same contract but with different names. And almost 50% of the stuff came back, and it was like, that is against the law. China's actually got way better laws to protect the workers than a lot of Western countries. It's got some amazing laws, and it really does look after people. I think the thing that people get messed up by here is because you think because it's a foreign country, you don't know the rules, and then you've got them that, like, a lot of schools will be quite underhanded and kind of threatening about stuff. Yeah, and people kind of I better do what they say. But actually, you've got a really good set of laws looking after you as even as a foreign worker here.
Definitely, yeah. Sorry, Austin.
Jump right in. I'm nosing come through. Go on, Simon.
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say a lot of less reputable employers will try to take advantage of foreign ignorance on the topics. So if you really don't have a job where they are invested in their teachers and want to look after you, it really pays to arm yourself with that knowledge. And actually, most of the government websites are translated in English, so it's accessible and pretty easily too. And if you don't have that, with certain employers I've had to deal with, if you don't have that knowledge, they will take every hour they get from you.
That goes good here.
Any contract with English
training centers are all about the money. Stand. I hate them. Rather teach at a university. Go on, Austin. You were saying?
Yeah, there was the one thing that I think every foreigner should know is that the Foreign Expert Bureau exists. It's called the Zhuanjiaju. Those are the people you need to talk to. Their entire operation is based around helping foreign experts, whether it be teachers or factory supervisors or whatever. If they're being taken advantage of, then you give them a call and they will bring the hammer down on that employer who's doing stuff. We had an incident at a school I used to work at, and there was some underhanded stuff going on, and people were owed money and were being overworked, underpaid, and the classic thing, and nothing was getting done, and it dragged on for weeks and weeks and weeks, into a couple of months. And then somebody got the idea of we can call the Foreign Expert Bureau, and then someone called them, and then 2 days later all the money was sent to everybody. Contracts were rewritten, everything was taken care of in 2 days, 1 or 2 days.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Just
that's amazing.
call the FEB. FEB, the Foreign Expert Bureau. They'll take care of
Yeah,
everything.
I've seen a lot of
If
it during
you're working
COVID
legally.
because people have been taken advantage of really badly during COVID. There's been so many schools. In fact, I think
Yes.
my school, right, used to be quite shady. They pulled a lot of let's say, not cool shit on people that were working there, and they.
Sorry,
we've
Skittles was
recently had-
sniffing.
So what?
My cat was giving me a little sniff, and I wasn't quite prepared for that. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay, I thought you were sounding me off for swearing.
Hello.
But yeah, my school's actually been amazing. My school just said right off the bat, yeah, we'll carry on paying you as long as you guys work with us, and we'll work with you. And my school's been really amazing. I think like my school's probably been one of the only ones in the whole of like the city I live in, Wenzhou, which has been so fantastic. And I think it's because the boss is just knows how to, like knows that you treat people with respect, and it's like a two-way street. Like you treat people nicely. There's a lot of schools here which they will treat employees quite badly. And
all right, I want to get a couple of comments in here. Terry says I've been okay. Well, that happens. Yeah. So
you want to hear a story about
story.
that, my friends?
I'm a stranger. Yeah, it happens. There you go. I got it. I love this. Guilo, Snark, you have your background perfect, except I'm a Pepsi man. Sorry. I'm not really supposed to be a Coke man either, but Bunny's not here, so she can't do anything to me right now. So
I'm actually with Kirk. I like Pepsi as well. But
Burbeck says, I worked at the British Council as an IELTS examiner for 5 years. Then my contract let me go. 4 minutes, they contacted me, let me know I was owed 2 months' wages. Now that's pretty decent.
That's good to know.
IELTS is one of the 2 big exams, as everybody knows, that a lot of kids have to take in order to advance to a higher level of education. But there is what's the other one in China? Is it the Gaokao, Austin?
The Gaokao. Yeah, that's the college entrance exam. That's a different sort of exam.
If you fail that, you're fucked.
Like the SATs.
Yeah, it's the
SAT. SATs, you can go back and you can you can make them adjustments. The Gaokao, there is the option to go back, but the realistic possibility of it happening is not so much. So if you do bad on the Gaokao, that's why there's so much pressure put on that thing, because it will literally decide whether you go to like. I didn't know until I got here that in England, like college is like, like you have school and then you either go to sixth form or college. College is more vocational and has a bigger range of stuff. And then you go on to university. Well, here, if you do bad in the Gaokao, you go to college. If you do good in the Gaokao, you go to university. So it's like it's night and day to England, really.
So somebody asked, what valuable life skills have you learned while teaching in China? Let's go to Simon on this first.
Patience.
Patience.
To take things less seriously. I've learned to empathize with the mental capacity of a 6-year-old. Going from high school to 6-year-olds, from senior year biology to grade 1 PE or grade 1 science was a massive shift, and I just did not understand what was going on in those little brains. And so I've definitely learned to have a more realistic, understanding of what children are capable of, which will be relevant one day when I become a father. There's a lot really that you can pick up from teaching in China. And I was a teacher before I came to China too. So I'd say these are the unique things from China since I've been here.
Okay. Austin, same question.
Yeah. I mean, the number one thing that I thought of, the very first thing was patience. And then the second thing that I thought of was empathy. So I had sort of the same answer. But I think I have a greater capacity to sort of like read people and read the room, and like I can kind of it's a teacher thing, right? You kind of learn you just feel when you're about to lose the room, or you feel when you've got the kids, or you feel when it's right to do this certain task, or like you're able to figure out pick which bits they're struggling with. You just learn how to read certain things, learn how to troubleshoot issues, and things like that. Because it's hard to say for me, life before China, because like I've spent pretty much my entire adult life in China. Like as soon as I graduated university, I came straight here. And
There you
like
go.
I even spent my last semester of university here in China. So like even before I was out of university, I was already here. So
Okay.
that's just maybe that's just life experience.
All right. Alex.
Oh God, I have learned how to scold people in Chinese. I've learned how to control a crowd, like a large crowd.
Control the crowd.
I've learned when to use when to be the scary guy and when to just like how to negotiate. Negotiation skills, like which like Simon said, I can use with my own children because I have 2 children, so there's that. I've learned how to laminate a whole bunch of stuff in a short amount of time.
Craft. We learned craft.
Yeah, you've learned the production skills using scissors. And
oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I've learned, obviously, like the other guys have mentioned, I've learned patience, and I've learned a different way of doing things because it's not just the kids that you have to do all this with.
Oh yeah.
Like I used to go about things in a really Western-minded like way of doing things, and then realized that no, in China, even with your colleagues at a school, it is completely different. You have to figure out what's okay and what's like not okay. So there's been like it's not just a cultural adjustment like socially here and being on the streets. It's also learning the social skills that are used in China. And like how you can navigate your way through this kind of really complex social situation, which is your work here. Yeah, I know about that. I got patience definitely. For me, it's kind of one of those, know when to, listen and know when to put on a little bit of cabaret in the classroom, and fake it till you make it. And they don't know the difference sometimes because you got a lesson plan, you're going this way, and suddenly something happens, and you take a hard left, and it's like, what happened? And he says, you got improvisation would have been another one because you've got to think on your feet when the course where you're using fails or something you prepared, you forgot and didn't bring to class. You have to have like an extra backup of stuff to bring for sure. Like that's
true story.
100%.
When I was at university, I had a placement with school in New Zealand. One of the most valuable things I learned there was from one of my associate teachers, Phil Washburn. We were going to one of his lessons to observe, and he said, Simon, I'm about to teach you the most valuable thing you will ever learn as a teacher. I was thinking, awesome, I'm going to get out my notebook, like I'm listening carefully now. And he says, it's called the 5-step lesson plan. I'm thinking, brilliant. What are the 5 steps? He goes, the 5 steps you take before you enter the PE shed room. I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
This one's interesting from Jamaica Funk. If you could bring that back up, it's difficult, more difficult to read. More difficult to read when you're teaching online. It's more difficult to do everything when you're online because you're like, don't do that, or I'll do nothing because they were like miles apart. Yeah, great, okay.
Yeah, my kids turning
off
their screens, turning off their microphones. They're playing Call of Duty the whole time.
Oh, we had parents that were feeding the children, specifically asked them, don't feed them. And like you just see these sandwiches coming in from the side and you're like, I guess you listen really well. Or kids, one kid that said nothing. He just opened his mouth and put it on the camera. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. I saw a couple of memes. I actually had students try this where they tried to put like a picture of their room in front of the camera, and then they'd be off doing something, and I can hear video game sounds, or in some cases, sounds of other things going on that I didn't want to hear. But Terry says, how long did it take you to realize many here can't critically think? Now, I'm going to disagree with this. I'm going to disagree with this hard. You can't really judge a student in one country. Most of my students can think critically, and they do pretty good. So
yeah, I would say they're actually very critically thinking here because they're always trying to get around a problem. There's a lot of critical thinking here.
So
yeah, they will surprise you. Like they will really surprise you sometimes with what they do. But I think something that's really lacking here, and as somebody who teaches at like a top 10 or 15 university, there's a
Mhm.
lot of people here that don't have any common sense. Like
Common
common
sense
sense
is
is just out
entirely
the
different than
window.
critical
It's a
thinking.
different sort of thing. But I would
Yeah.
say the thing that's lacking is not critical thinking. It's common freaking sense. Like I'm supposed to be teaching the best and brightest, and like these dummies are showing up to the wrong classroom with the wrong teacher, even though it has the classroom listed with the name of the teacher, and they stay there for the whole semester. And then like I mean, and that's just one of many, many, many examples.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Quilo says, did you guys get demoted when you started teaching in China, like high school to grade school? I did, kind of.
What's grade school?
I was initially teaching high school.
Primary school.
And I found out that the high schoolers had their soul extracted and replaced with a double work ethic. And I'm the sort of guy, I'm a very snarky guy. I like to have fun, sing and dance, make a lot of dad jokes in the classroom. That's just my style. Plus, I can show my YouTube videos, and I have a captive audience. They can go nowhere. Wonderful. But my personality tends to be geared more towards like the 6th, 7th, 8th graders. Those guys are great. I love them. And so I moved down from high school down to the middle schoolers. Any of you guys ever get demoted?
I demoted myself for more money.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got fired from a university and had to go to a training school for a little bit.
Oops.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I failed too many students,
myself,
and then they fired
just
me.
because of money. If I could find a job teaching adults that was as well paid as what I get for what I do now, I would take it, because I have friends that teach adults, and I went and sat in on one of my friend's classes, and I was like, "This is amazing." Imagine just hanging out with a bunch of adults, like the same age.
yeah.
They have these small little classrooms. It's kind of like this office is here, and they just kind of like sometimes they go off topic and they have free talk, which is just hanging out. Like they drink coffee in the class, like they're sat around a table. There's no standing. There's no playing flashcard games where you jump around. It seems amazing, and I was like, "This is amazing. Where can I get a job here?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is the salary." And you're like, "Okay, I'll go back to teach the children." Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Leon says private to school parents in South Africa can be really difficult times. What are Chinese parents like? Simon, you're our resident South African. Tell us, what are Chinese parents like?
So they vary. I'm really fortunate. The class I've been for the last 2 years with, I've developed a really good relationship. They trust my professional judgment, and I'm able to engage with them on a level probably a bit more intimate than some of my colleagues who maybe haven't had their class as long or have had parents come in with higher expectation. Having said that, I can give you a million and nightmare stories just of my school, my colleagues alone, of dealing with, dragon moms is what we call them.
Yeah.
And it can be really tough for a huge literature of issues they think they know better than the trained educator paid to teach their child, or they aren't seeing the results they want because it's a private school and so they're expecting results, not progress, or it's because a face issue they refuse to accept there's something that needs to be addressed, or they put the fingers elsewhere. So can, and this again, as you're seeing, Leon, it's probably very similar to the difficult parents we have at home in the private schools. It's not in my, I worked in public schools before I came here, and I had none of this issue. The parents were all very trusting and encouraging and supportive. And then I moved to private school in China, and it was like, very different ball game.
Yeah. I noticed that when I was a kid, my teacher would say, "Oh, well, I didn't do something." My mom was like, "Why do you do it? Get back there and do it." And and she would side with the teacher. And now it seems like a lot of times it's switched when you tell the parent, "Well, little Ryan didn't do something," and they're like, "What's wrong with you? It's your fault."
Yeah.
And they kind of point the finger at the teacher. You guys experienced that?
You get loads of different types of parents, though.
Yeah, you do.
You get you get the parent which is got a lot of wealth, and they're like, "Hey, Alex, like I had some that were like, hey, you like photography and making videos? I bought you all these video lights." And then what they expect for that is they expect that they have bought you. You know, I should like, I now expect that you'll pay more attention to my child, and it's like, you know, you should just ignore all the other ones.
Right.
You get the tiger mum, or as Simon called them, dragon mums. Like I have one parent that she used to come in, and we give this like for their class performance every time they get this like fake money. Right. And then they can save up said fake money and swap it for toys. It's basically meaningless. But
yeah,
like I'd get one parent come in and she'd look at it and she'd be like, "Oh, so Alex, how many did he get today?" And I'd be like, like 13, and she'd be like, 12. Oh God, okay, yeah, my bad. You missed out on one fake money. Like here you go. Like you get some super nice ones. The like organized stuff. I've had a lot of extra work, like extra gigs, making videos for people.
There you go.
Cool.
That people have found out. And you get some kind of strange ones. We have one mum that came in for summer camp for an entire summer, and she'd come in, drop her daughter off for the whole day for summer camp, but then sleep on a bench outside. For the whole day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Austin, how's your interaction with parents there? Oh,
I don't think he's moving.
He's not moving.
He
looks so intense. I just assumed he was paying attention.
Great for him to be frozen on. Just deep in thought.
Any minute, radio is going to jump in, I think, here.
Yeah.
Boom. It's the Johnny Show again.
We can make that a meme when you're thinking about Johnny.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. We really do make a meme about that.
That moment when Johnny's just about to break in.
John's, at least Chinese kids don't eat Tide Pods. Man, anyone who eats a Tide Pod is an imbecile.
Brilliant.
That's all I can say about that. So, okay, I want to kind of move this along. Why do you think a lot of foreigners tend to gravitate towards teaching English in China? Alex?
It's like the easiest thing for people to do here. It's the most advertised overseas type job which they're trying to get people over here for. Usually people that are here for companies are already working for said company back in another country, and the company swaps them over here.
Right.
Or there's I'll send Alex 50 RMB if we
He's gonna do it.
Give me 2 seconds.
We have a challenge. We have a challenge. Okay, here we go.
You're a madman.
He is. He's gonna be sloppy by the end of this one.
I'm pretty sure you could put that in your Audi and go a couple of kilometers.
So
I mean,
did you finish it?
It's pretty fuel efficient. But yeah, where were we before that craziness?
Where were we? Now that you just made a little side money there. Oh yes. So there you go. Did Alex finish the bottle?
Oh yeah.
So did
I witnessed. He finished. So all right. So he was really focused. Okay. So we're talking about there you go. 50 RMB coming up, buddy. You just made 50 RMB.
Got my phone open ready.
There you go.
So
awesome.
We sound good.
So amazingly well. Nice. So Simon, why do you think a lot of foreigners gravitate towards teaching English?
2 reasons. Number one, I'd say it's actually a pattern that's larger than just coming to China to teach English. For example, a lot of my colleagues, when I was teaching in New Zealand, they were people who had completed a bachelor in science or a bachelor in engineering or some other degree, and then decided they either didn't want to do that or couldn't find employment or for some other reason decided to then do a PGCE and become a math or science teacher or art teacher or what have you. So a lot of people go the route where they graduate, they're unhappy with the line of work or they can't get work, and then you Google it and the first thing you're going to get, teach English China. And then there are also the other people who are just looking for a way to go overseas and experience something different and not be completely poor while doing it, not having to busk on the streets of Hong Kong or something to that effect, and I think it's a pretty achievable outcome for those people too.
Going back a few years, it almost used to be like a gap year job as well, because when I first got here, I got here in 2013, and basically it was the easiest job interview I've ever had. I'd actually got a job in Canada. I'd been practicing my sorries for like a long time because I wanted to go snowboarding. I wanted to go to get a job where I could go snowboarding every year. But then I'd been just going down like an A to Z of countries and just applying for jobs. And I found China, and I thought it was a scam because it was too easy. They basically said, like, do you want to teach in China? And I was like, oh, I'm not qualified. I've got no PGCE. I've not done anything to do with education. None of my qualifications are in that. They're in like music technology, electronic and electronic computer engineering. Like, I can't do that. And then I realized it just said, you just need to have a full body photograph of yourself. And that is it. So I sent a copy of my qualifications, like, full body photograph.
Yep, you're alive. Got a pulse.
Like, there you are, teaching.
You're hired.
Yeah, I actually said to them, I don't want to, is this a scam? I was like, is this where you're like, pay me £200 and then you might get a job? But they were like, no, we don't need anything from you. You just need to go get a visa and get yourself here, and the job is already there. So I was like, okay. And I think that in itself, because there used to be a lot of the classic English teacher in China image used to be the guy that used to go out party and get drunk, come to class and just put movies on. It's only in recent years, I said a recent 3 years or 4 years, where they started getting serious about degrees being verified, people being native speakers. Before that, it was all wild.
I noticed when I got a side gig teaching kindergarten, it was like that. They just say, wanted to make sure I had a pulse, I had a visa, I was cleared. And it was after 2 months, I had a kid walk up to me, tap me on the shoulders. I was 6 years old. Mr. Jimmy, I just made boom boom in my pants, and smiled big. And I'm like, mic drop. Nope. Sorry. Done. I love my middle school kids. They are my world. They rock hard, but I don't mess with boom boom. Sorry. But yep. We got a good question here. Would you guys please explain how city tiers work and how pay differs within these tiers? We could spend all day on this. 20 seconds, Austin.
Basically, city tiers work. There's a set of criteria where it's like a GDP, population, the amount of investments made, the quality of investments made, and the city's commitment to maintaining order and cleanliness.
I thought it was also infrastructure as well, because
also infrastructure.
I know that Wenzhou here is one of the wealthiest cities in China, but yet we're a tier 3, maybe made a tier 2, and it's because of
Chengdu, new tier 1.
Just,
yeah.
Wow.
There you go. So
Chengdu's worth a tier 1 though. Let's be honest.
Who just thumbed this live stream? We will find you.
People do that all the time. Like,
I don't know. Some people, they just downstream based on what they think is going on. I don't know.
Someone thumbs down my video about me having a baby. Like, does that? Like, honestly, who does that? Like,
Simon, can you explain what boom boom is for Burbex? Burbex doesn't know what boom boom is.
I'm out.
Burbex boom boom is the noise your sphincter makes when a matter of sorts leave it.
I like the diplomatic way you phrased that. So, do you notice Chinese students picking up the accent and wording of their? Yeah, they do. They really
yeah,
do.
for sure, for sure.
As a matter of fact, I've got students, they've had like a British tutor for their IELTS for a few years, and they talk with a British accent. I've got Chinese students
that
with an
drives me
Irish
nuts.
accent.
Yeah.
I even have one, no joke, with a Jamaican accent. It's hilarious.
That would be
So
absolutely the best.
no boom boom in the classroom. Thank goodness. High turn. Some of them do. I don't want to mess. I don't even want to mess.
No. Most of the time in a kindergarten, you have your Chinese
IEs.
teachers, you have your foreign teachers, and you have the IEs. And the IEs are just there to like toilet the kids, make sure they go to sleep, and do all the stuff which the Chinese teacher doesn't want to do, and then the foreign teacher basically just shows up and spouts off a few English words for like 20 minutes of the day.
Yep.
That's about it.
Okay, let's try to wrap this up, guys. We've talked about a whole things about we compared it to white monkey jobs. I think I heard that phrase a little bit. I want to wrap this up here. Number one, what is the long-time viability of teaching in China, and would you recommend this? I'm going to give 60 seconds to Austin. Go.
Well, I mean, if you just want to work and have a job, you could just do this forever. Like that, the English teaching industry is not going anywhere for a long time. But it depends on kind of what your long-term goals are. If you want to move up within the industry, if you want to go to higher pay grades, if you want to specialize in something, that can be a bit difficult because it depends on your qualifications. Because with my qualifications, not having a master's or PGCE or anything, I can't go any higher than Sichuan University. I would have to do something maybe non-teaching related, like curriculum design, or get into IELTS exams or things like that. So you would have to sort of move around. But if you wanted to just teach forever, you could do that if you wanted to, I suppose. Depends on the person.
Would you recommend this to other people?
Recommend teaching?
Yes.
I think you have to want to be a teacher. It's really easy to be a bad teacher or a mediocre teacher, but it's really difficult to actually be a good, effective, and caring and empathetic teacher. So if you don't feel that need to teach, don't do it. I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in 8th grade. Like, this is the only thing I want to do. And if you don't feel that way, I don't think you should be a teacher.
Worst job in the world if you don't want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simon, what is the long-term viability of teaching English, and would you recommend it? 60 seconds, go.
Yeah, I would say the long-term viability of an English job here is huge, or just because. So I don't like. Again, I'm not an English teacher. I've taught English for a period of time, but I'm not an English teacher. I've come to China from a management position in my school before, down to a training center, then to a private school teaching English. I'm now the head of my department for PE, science, music, and art. Sorry, not science, ITC and art. So that's gone through, from training center to now department head for 4 subjects. And then, from then on, I'll only plan on moving upwards and potentially starting my own thing in the future. Is something I'm still thinking about, probably a training center though. So I think that the long-term viability is massive. I think a lot of schools offer you a foot in the door, and if they're a good school who are really impressed with you during your interview, they offer things like PGCEs or CELTAs or other sorts of forms that can qualify you to make it a long-term thing. If you come into the training center and you don't do anything to improve yourself over the years and get qualified, you'll be in the training center for the rest of your life, and that's not entirely viable. But if you want to make the most out of it, you can. There are plenty of opportunities for you to get your qualifications, to move up into different tiers of education, to specialize in different subjects, to get into management, and to make a very successful career out of it.
Okay.
And
Alex,
so, yes, I do recommend it if it's what you want to do.
Alex, what's the long-term viability of teaching in China, and would you recommend it? 60 seconds.
Oh, 100%. I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth trying. Like, I came to China with the mentality that I was like, people like, oh my God, that's crazy. You're moving to somewhere that's so culturally different and like completely over there, and you don't speak the language. And, it's not like when you go to Europe and you can kind of muddle your way through because the language is just characters. But if you don't like it, you can just go home. It's like with anything in life. If you don't try things, you don't know if you like it. And for me, like I was just like, hell, I'm just gonna go to China, and if I don't like it, I can always go back. So I tried it. I liked it. Third day in, I was like, this is amazing. Even if I don't do teaching here, it's a cool place to be. And it's not for everybody. It's not just the teaching. The teaching is relatively easy to get used to. I'd never been a teacher before in my life. The first time I ever taught was the third day of being here, when they were like, hey, off you go. Just do some stuff, speak some English. Okay, great. But it can be fun. I think it's very much down to how you look at life. If you're one of these people who looks at life and thinks, maybe I can't do that now, but maybe it might be fun to try, it could be great for you. But if you're going to be pessimistic and boring, it probably not for you. There's a lot of different things. You have to be quite an open person to come and teach in China. You have to be, you have to get into this mindset that it's not like being in the West. There's so many people that come here and they basically just like, oh no, somebody watched me or followed me going down the street. It's kind of rapey. And it's like, no, it's because you're a foreigner in China, in a city possibly where there's not many foreigners. I think you have to be, it's not just the teaching aspect of it, but it has to be you as a person. You have to be quite open. You have to be quite easygoing, and you have to be quite adventurous to do it in the first place, because there's going to be a lot of things here which outside the teaching stratosphere is going to be completely different for you. So you've got to be open to new things. I think it's definitely a long-term thing, whether you like it or not, because I'm not particularly like Simon or Austin. I never wanted to be a teacher. I never dreamed to be a teacher. I don't really. It's all right. It's fun. I think you have to have people that you like working with, as well as like the actual job. You have to have people you like working with, because you're going to spend more time at your job than you are with your husband, your wife, your kids. So it's got to be an environment where you like it. So you've got to choose well. But like Simon said, there's so many possibilities. You can get your foot in the door with any one of them, and then you can branch out from there. So there'll always be something, and there'll always be something you can do. And I know many foreigners that have come here to teach and now own their own business, or they do other things. So even if you don't think it's a long-term thing, but you have another idea, use it as a means to an end and go out from there. But it's totally possible. You could own your own training school. You could be an IELTS trainer. You could go like the route Simon's gone, or yourself has gone.
Yeah.
You could just be like, I think maybe being a training school guy like me, like you wouldn't want to do that when you're like 60. It'd be A, embarrassing, and B, kind of weird and creepy. Who's that creepy guy dancing around at the front of the classroom? But I think it's definitely
singing
viable,
songs.
for sure. Yeah, like, look, I'm 100. My bones are breaking. But
well, I mean, I think teach mongering, as absolutely nobody says, is entirely up to the individual, and it's kind of like buying real estate or getting your girlfriend in the mood. It's all about location. And if you find a place where you fit in, then it makes it a lot easier. But if you find a place where you don't fit in, it's an uphill battle. It's ice skating uphill. I know me personally, I've got a great thing going. In my classroom, I brew coffee. We read books. That's great. I got 17 types of coffee. I've got a coffee grinder.
2 sentences.
It is
also
great.
A shout out to Burbeck who sent the money.
Okay. Oh, did Alex get the 50?
Yeah, I got it. It says accepted. 50.
Awesome. So
totally worth
Austin's not blinking. Austin, yes, we want everyone to make sure everyone know Austin is not a statue.
Sichuan University.
We want to make that abundantly clear. So, but we had a couple other questions. Very quickly, I'm going to take this to Austin since he was gone. Someone had a question about morals and ethics for choosing to work in China. Austin? He is a statue.
What? Actually, question back at her. What were the questions about your morals or ethics, and why is that?
I don't know. It's just that somebody said.
Like,
so they, want to know
morals,
about.
Is that implying that Chinese people are immoral? I don't get
it. Like anything else, I think morals and ethics is kind of something, you have ingrained. We kind of touched on this on Saturday a little bit as far as morals and ethics, but that's a whole nother ball of wax here. And Austin's gone. True story. Up, Austin's back.
I think
Austin back. He is back.
Yeah, I think I am the running joke of this stream. It
was me last time.
It's not fun.
Well,
yeah.
But we still love you, man. So true story. Well, guys, I intended this go an hour. We're a little bit over. Any final thoughts? Let's take it to Austin. Hopefully he's not locked up. Final thought, 30 seconds, go.
Final thoughts. Subscribe to my channel, Austin in China. Follow me on Instagram, Austin in China. Thanks a lot. Patreon, Austin in China.
There we go. Simon, final thoughts, 30 seconds.
Yeah, same thing. This week on my channel, I'm going to be making 3 videos on this topic that I'll be filming in my classroom. So if you're interested in this, I'm going to be getting into some nitty-gritty details there. Hop over, give me a subscribe. I know already a few people have, so thank you very much for joining me.
All right. Alex, final thoughts, 30 seconds, go.
Okay. First of all, subscribe to Simon. Simon's the most underrated YouTuber in this channel. He is an amazing filmmaker, and he needs your support. So go subscribe to Simon for sure. Subscribe to me if you like random crap that I do all the time. Walking, talking, just talking without thinking, all that kind of good stuff. Jamaica Funk, if you're still watching, man. Caricature would be great. That would be awesome. And yeah. Keep an eye on my channel. Keep an eye on everybody else's channels. Have fun. Hope everybody's keeping well.
Nice. Well, guys, as always, I appreciate your support of my channel, Snarky Guy. This coming week, I am going to be making a poo-poo video. That's right. We're talking the squatty potty, El Crapolino, the John, the porta potty, whatever you want to call it. We got toilet stories in China. It's going to be great.
Did you see Miriam's video on that?
Yes. I did, and that was amazingly awesome and disgusting all at the same time. I definitely get Miriam on. She seems like a really cool girl.
She is. 26th of July. Myself, Blondie in China, and Miriam in China are live streaming. Yeah, so
Alex and the ladies. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, for all you watching, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us like anything else. Always carry a can of sardines. You never know when they'll come in handy. And we will see you guys next time. Barrett, salute out.
Thanks for having us.
They do that all the time, do they?
Absolutely. It's a good time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good times.